Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land tonight? I hope this finds you well. I'm ready to do another one of these mind-blowing episodes. And we got Al Forte with us.
Hello, Internet. I'm not Matt Haas, and this is Fun with Al and BrendaG today.
I will never forget when Shelly did that on her video. That was one of the first videos of hers that I ever seen. Yeah. And I laughed so hard, the tears rolled down my face.
I need to see more Shelly, like more cowbell, more Shelly.
Yeah. Well, speaking of cowbell, what we need here is more cowbell. Oh, we got Strollers Chat in the house with us tonight. Good to see you out there. Nope, that's not Matt with me tonight. That's Al Forte. Matt has gone to Atlanta to the big show, gone off and left me. I told him bring me back something pretty.
So what were you expecting him to bring you back?
Well, bring me back something pretty. Surprise me.
Okay.
All right. We'll see what he comes up with.
See, my thought of pretty, Brenda, you have to understand this is totally different than your thought of pretty, okay?
Well, I mean, he said, well, what all do you need? So I said, well, I could use a bandsaw. I could use a joiner. I could use a planer. And he started naming off a whole bunch of other stuff that I didn't need. And I said, no, that's pretty much it. I said, just, bring me back something pretty.
I must have missed out. Because I would have given him a whole laundry list of stuff to bring.
I don't want to be greedy.
I do.
Oh, yeah. The only prescription is more cowbell.
Sounds like the thing to do.
Well, in case you're wondering what this is all about here, what the live stream is about, you're new to the house. What we do is we have little known facts. We talk about just little known odd facts and throw that out. Well, there's Matt. He's heard us talking about him. He had to tune in.
Hello, there's another Starfleet officer in the chat.
And Ashley's here live with ankylosing spondylitis. Glad to have you with us tonight. But we talk about these little odd facts. And it's also a support stream. So check out everybody's channels that's there in the chat. If you like what you see, then hit the red button and like their video and leave them a comment there on something and play a video for them. Make friends and we support each other. That's what this is all about. That's how we're going to grow our channels. So, we just talk about whatever. I mean, it doesn't have to be a little known fact. We talk about all kinds of stuff. I talk about a lot of stuff that Matt wishes I'd just hush.
Yeah, that last episode where you started dissecting the mattresses. Yeah.
I could look and see if I could find that again if you want me to read that again.
Hey, he's out there. I'm sure Matt, do you want us to redo it again?
Or maybe I can't. No, I think that one may have went by the wayside.
Yeah, Matt, and I've got the insignia too. So see, there it is, right there. Yeah, it's all good.
Here's a little known fact: at any given time, there are 1,800 thunderstorms in progress over the Earth's atmosphere. I think they were all over my house this morning.
Yeah, if anybody hasn't seen the thunderstorms that Brenda is talking about, go look it up from the International Space Station. It looks fantastic. It's, I mean, without the sound, of course, I'm adding the sound in, but it's all over the place.
Diana's in the house. Artful of Yours with Diana is in there. Farmall Fanatics in the house. Hey, if you have not been to Farmall Fanatics live stream at 7:30 on Friday nights, set your clocks and your calendars to get over there to Farmall Fanatics live stream. He runs a support stream that is out of this world. He keeps over 100 people in the chat for over an hour at a time. He gets about 300 likes on on his live stream, and he is. I never seen anybody with so much energy. I want to figure out how to bottle that energy. Wow. words cannot describe what goes on over on Farmall's show.
Now,
You have
Artful
to be
over there.
Yeah, Diana says she's been over to his stream. She knows what goes on. Wow. He says he's drinking water, but I'm not so sure.
Is it clear? Is
Yes,
it
it's clear. I think it
clear
might be a little moonshine in that jug that he's drinking out of.
Jeez. I've got some clear stuff right there too. Actually, it's all gone. Yeah, it was water.
Yeah, there's been some awful windstorms going on. We're going to have one here tonight. They're talking about with 50-mile-an-hour winds and such. And I've seen a lot of videos over on Facebook today about the high winds and trucks getting blown over. And I guess in Colorado Springs they had some kind of a cyclone with ice come through and froze vehicles to the roads out on the interstates and everything. That was an unbelievable video to look at. So, prayers for everybody that they come out of these storms that's going through today.
Yeah, the weather's really been bad lately. Badder than normal, I think.
Yeah. This. Oh, bless your heart, Farmall. Hey, boom! It's a 5 bomb.
Woo! Woo! Yeah, Farmall says that means it's coming.
We'll do a cowbell. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you.
It's longer than the other. Man, I'm gonna have to get me a trim.
Well, I got some scissors. You stick your head through the monitor.
Okay, let's see. Go ahead. Trim on it, Brenda.
And I'll get it for you. See, we aim to please here. We're liable to do anything. You don't know what we're going to do.
Scroller's Chat does a YouTube show too. He's thinking about starting back up with season 2, but he says he doesn't have time. And it's like, hey, welcome to the club. Time is one of the most precious things that I waste all the time. So. Yep.
But I'm going over there to his channel right now. I got it pulled up a video there. It's his Santa Christmas ornament video. I'm going to leave that playing in the background here while we do the show. I'm going to drop him a comment on his video real quick.
Yeah, I've seen him cut and scroll and design. And one thing I learned from him is like when I go get clip art off of YouTube, I'm sorry, off of Google, to get the licensed one that's basically free for use with modifications and stuff. I got to give him that.
Yep.
I've learned a lot of things, but that's the one thing that I can remember that this, I think, the best for everybody involved.
He says he's the sole president right now, and it takes time to do that. So not much time for I guess YouTube right now.
Right.
So, right. Yeah, I can relate. I mean, spring is coming. I've got a lot of projects that I want to get up on YouTube, but I've also got to do yard work and garden work and spring house cleaning, and I'm the only one here. So I'm the only one to get it done. And that's going to, inhibit me from doing as much as I want to get done right away. But eventually I'll get those chores knocked out and be able to spend a little bit more time with the YouTube. I've got a lot of videos that I want to do on crafting this year. Of course, there's my Heifer Haven free advice. And if anybody hasn't checked out Heifer Haven, there's over 30 videos there that I give free advice. I mean,
Heiferbot says more cowbell.
She wants more cowbell.
Oh.
Heiferbot is an instigator.
Of course.
Yeah, Heiferbot's out there. She'll be dropping your link there, Al, and
cool.
She tells jokes and she drops my links, and so you'll hear a lot out of Heiferbot during the show. She's out there doing her job. She's a good girl.
Awesome. Heifer. So does anybody have anything to blow our mind with? I mean,
Yeah, give us a mind-blowing fact.
yeah, let's get the show on the road here.
I've got one here. It says erosion at the base of Niagara Falls has caused the falls to recede approximately 7 miles over the past 10,000 years.
Wow. Wow, it's really, really, really hard for it to basically stay there, isn't it?
I mean, if you was a time traveler and you came back in another 10,000 years, you'd see it move another 7 miles, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah. It would have receded that long or that far.
Yeah. Yeah. That's oh, here I found the mattress one. You want me to read the mattress one again?
Matt probably left because he heard it. He heard mattress talk, Wow.
Yeah, you're all wondering now, what's she talking about? I'm not going to make you go back and watch the other video. I'll do it now. A 10-year-old mattress. If your mattress is 10 years old or older, it weighs double what it did when it was new due to debris that it absorbs over time. That debris includes dust mites, their droppings and decaying bodies, mold, millions of dead skin cells, dandruff, animal and human hair, secretions, excretions, lint, pollen, dust, soil, sand, and a lot of perspiration, which the average person loses at a rate of a quart a day.
Wow. I, yeah, I'm speaking. Yeah, yeah.
Makes you want to rush right out and buy a new mattress, doesn't it?
Exactly.
See, now, here's the thing. Back in the day, they used to sleep on feather beds. They'd save all the feather and the down from the geese and ducks and stuff, and they'd make their mattresses out of that. Well, then that was found not to be, real hygienic. So then they gone to the other materials to make mattresses out of. Now, that's been what, 100 years? So in another 100 years, what are they going to be making mattresses out of? What are we going to be sleeping on?
I think it'll be anti-gravity pylons.
We hover.
Yeah, we just hover. We just hover. Hey, did you know that ravens in captivity can actually learn to talk better than parrots? Did you ever know that? Is that a mind blown, maybe?
I didn't know that ravens could talk. I know minor birds can.
Yeah. Well, is a raven not a minor bird?
I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway,
minor birds, they can get quite a vocabulary. Yeah. And they're smart too.
And Brenda, I know you have a lot of creative thinking. Yes. I know you do, because according to a 2015 study, sarcasm can promote creative thinking. There's actually a study on this.
I am their queen. Diana says that they have the magic number bed that's filled with air.
Wow.
See, so we've gone from foam now to air. We did have water there for a while, but that's what it's filled with. But you got the plastic on the outside of it.
Wow. Hey, you guys remember Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers?
Oh yeah.
I loved him. I used to watch him. I used to watch the little trolley and Mr. McFeely and stuff. And he used to have that aquarium with water in it. Mm-hmm. and fish, of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he would always say out loud that he was feeding his fish. Mm-hmm. Can anybody out there tell me why he would actually say that out loud? Just wondering if you guys know this.
So the fish would know that he was feeding them.
Well, I'll let them think about that a little bit. Maybe they know. I don't know.
All right. Yeah. Would you be my neighbor?
Would you be my neighbor?
I know the neighbors I have wish that they wasn't.
Hello out there, Ray the Gamer. Ray's out there.
Hey, Ray. Good to see you in the house. Welcome. He's from Bobby's stream. I was over on Bobby's stream last night. Where's Bobby? Bobby McNutt. I went over there to Bobby McNutt's channel last night. He's doing a live stream. And them some good old boys over there. We had a good time. Diana was in there. and I was helping her with her banner a little bit there on her channel. Them boys, I tell you what, we had us a hoot. Bobby said at one time that, he wasn't all there. And I said, "Are you trying to tell me that you're a few sandwiches shy of a picnic?" and, and he ended up saying that he was missing the whole basket.
Oh my gosh.
Diane said Bobby said that he'd be here. And so Bobby will be here in a little bit. And then Cliff Notes should come in too.
I think Diana is blowing my mind. Here's a scary fact. There's an underground
Bobby now.
Under Yosemite, so large that it erupts, it'll take out the whole Northwest USA. Now that's mind-blowing, I think.
Yeah. There's a lot of people wondering when that's going to happen too, because I've been doing some rumbling. Anna. Mary Mead X, or X Mary Mead X, is in the house. Good to have you in there. Anna B Workshop, good to have you in the house. And everybody just get acquainted. Check out each other's channels. That's what this is about here. We support each other. Go over. If you like what you see, then hit the red button and play a video. Leave them a comment. Hit the like button. You have to make a connection with people, because the algorithm that YouTube has now is, if you don't make the actual connection, if you just go over and hit the button, it's not going to count. That's why the subscriber count keeps going up and down on people's channels, because folks are not hitting the red button and making connection. So make sure that if you're going to support them, leave them a comment, like the video, and when you can, go over to their live streams. Bobby McNutt, Lord have mercy, I had a good time last night. He didn't get the notification. See, the bell doesn't work half the time on these things. So it's good to know. As a matter of fact, here's what we'll do. If you do a live stream and you have a schedule for it, drop it in the chat. Let people know that you have a live stream and when it is. People can jot it down. We'll go to keeping records here on when people are doing their live streams. Huey Lionheart, or blah, blah, blah. Easy for me to say. Huey Lionheart is in the house. Good to have you here. Luanna Pierce is in the house. Luanna's one of my buddies over on Facebook. Glad to have you in the house.
We got Ray the Gamer out there too.
Yeah, and Bobby says hit the like button. Yes, slap that like button like a boss. Oh, mercy. Yeah, Ray the Gamer's in the house. Good to have you here. Oh, how are we all? Well, we're just, funner than frog fuzz, split 6 ways with the broad axe.
Oh my God.
You ever have them people try to pick you up on Facebook? Do you ever have that? Where they
all the time.
They friend you, and then they start sending you all these messages, and eventually they get around. They start out, "Hi, how are you?" And then I just want to get to know you better. And then I'll say, "Well, what do you want to know?" And then they get started. Now, eventually come out with, "Are you single?"
Right. Right.
I can usually slow them way down when they say, "How are you?" And I type in there, "Well, I'm finer than frog fuzz, split 6 ways with broad axe." They're like, "Oh Lord, this is trouble."
Slap the like button like slapping Brenda's arse. Should I let that go through? I'm going to show that. Because Brenda's got a donkey out back.
Let's see. Scroller's Chat says the expression "light as a cloud" couldn't be further from the truth. At 0.5 gram per cubic meter, the weight of cumulus clouds can really add up when you consider how long and wide they can get.
Yes. They can be hundreds of millions of tons. Yes. The clouds actually have weight to them.
And hence why angels can float on them.
Yes.
Right?
Is that why the devils they fall through, because they're heavier?
That's right.
Go all the way down.
Jim Dockrell's in the house. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Big Jim.
What's shaking out there, buddy? Oh, Buddy Going RVing is in the house. Good to have you in here. He was also over on Bobby McNutt's channel last night. and he likes to get an RV and go partying.
That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun for sure. Hey, do you guys know what day it is today? Does anybody know out there what national day it is? And
I
I guess
know
what Brendan? What is it?
it's Pie Day.
Oh yeah, buddy. I had me a big old piece of pie today. I brought Nana some pie.
When I was the president of the Ham Radio Club, there was this one young man that was in the club, and me and him loved pie. And we like to go out to eat all the time, all of us, So we'd get in a big group and we'd go out to some restaurant someplace. And after the meal, the waitress would always come up to the table and ask us if we wanted dessert. And me and him, no matter where we're sitting across the table from each other, far into the table, there might be 15 of us sitting there. Me and him would look across the table at each other. We go, pie!
Oh my God.
Much to the dismay of all the other people that
So,
was there with us.
so when do we celebrate Pie Day? I mean, does anybody know that? I mean, I'm kind of
Well, why not celebrate it?
well, no. When? What time? What time of the day do we celebrate it?
From midnight when the clock strikes clear to when the midnight clock strikes again.
The actual time, okay, is 3.1459.
Any
So,
time of day is a good
so,
time for pie.
so at 1:59, 3.14159. That's the beginning of pi. At 1:54 p.m. is when the actual celebration just blossoms.
Well, I want to know if Bobby McKnight takes any pie on his picnic. Oh, he says, I'll be drinking Death Wish coffee and a million Scoville hot sauce and a little. Oh, Lord, have mercy. No.
I had some hot sauce the other day that was 6 million scoles, and it's a little bitty bottle like this. I can't remember what it's called, something End of the Road or Death by Fire. I can't remember, but it was something like that.
I watched a fella on Facebook
awesome.
this afternoon that about killed himself eating some nacho that was called the Death Nacho and had some kind of hot stuff on it. And I thought the guy was going to die. I really thought he was going to have a heart attack. Sweat poured off of him. He was gagging. He's drinking down water and eating bread. And he was sick. He was sick.
I start hiccuping when it's too hot, and I had a little drop on a chip, and I start hiccuping. I love spicy food.
Well,
and is lasagna pie? I mean, Jim's asking if lasagna is pie.
It's kind of a pie.
Yeah, it's kind of a But I'd say it was a pizza pie, but that name's already been taken, right?
I prefer my pie to be like sweet kind of pie.
Yeah,
in a shell.
I had orange dreamsicle pie today.
Let's see what all they saying in the chat here. Katie is also here.
Hey, Osprey Mama's out there.
So I see Katie in the house. There too. Yeah, Osprey
Cutterville. Katie.
Both of you in the house. Cool.
Hope y'all are great.
Let's see. Luana says, love the scene in Michael, the movie with John Travolta was an angel where they celebrate pie. I love my pie. My favorite. What's your favorite? What's your favorite pie?
I don't know. That orange dreamsicle was really good today. Really
now,
good.
My favorite pie is peanut butter pie. And I'm not really a big fan of peanut butter, but I love peanut butter pie.
Never had peanut butter. I guess it'd be like eating big Reese's if you put some chocolate over it or something,
Osprey Mama says that lasagna is an Italian pie,
It is? Cool.
And then Luana says hers is blackberry pie. And then Katie says her favorite is lemon meringue. And her favorite cobbler is wild blackberry.
Anna's never eaten pie. Wow.
I like peach pie or peach cobbler.
There was a the guy I had lunch with. I'm making an LCD, a 3D, not a 3D. I'm sorry, an LCD, a Dungeons and Dragons. That's what I'm trying to get out. A Dungeons and Dragon table with a LCD TV in it. But he actually said, "Hey, let's go have lunch on Pie Day." He was wanting to get. I don't think it happened. Shepherd pie, and I could just. I've never had shepherd pie.
Yeah.
Never had it. I was going to try it, but
It's like a pot pie,
is
basically.
it? Well, we ended up having a pot pie. We ended
Yeah.
up having chicken pot pie, and it was really good.
Meat and gravy and vegetables and stuff in it. Shepherd's pie usually has lamb, I think. Let's see, we've also got rhubarb pie, French silk pie, um, and then Katie says her lemon pie has to be made with whole milk or heavy cream. Yes, I agree. You don't skimp when you're making pie.
Right, right. Heavy on the cream, I always say.
Luana said she used to make pies for a living. So did my great grandma. My great grandma ran a bakery. And
Well,
then
oh,
Lionheart says steak and kidney pie.
I don't think I've had steak and kidney pie either. Strawberry rhubarb pies. You know, pie is actually considered divine. No, not in the literal term. I mean, you don't pray to pie, but it's loved by math lovers. I mean,
Mhm.
the number is what's called what's the word I'm trying to use? Um, transcendental in mathematical terms. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I just think that it's funny because pi is an irrational number, yet it's
Mhm.
given transcendental, properties. And actually, pi is not only delicious, but it's a mathematical thing.
Ray the Gamer wants to know what time it is here. It is 7:26 Eastern Time here
Six
in.
26 Central at the tone. The time will be 6:26 and 10 seconds.
I'm
Coordinated Universal Time.
I'm
Oh,
located in Indiana and Al is in Texas.
Odessa, the great state of Texas, folks, in the desert of the Permian Basin in West Texas.
Now Diana says she likes lemon meringue and key lime. I'm not a fan of key lime pie, and it's not made generally to turn my nose up at pie, but that's I could do without that.
So what do Polish people eat, Anna? She says they don't eat pie that much. What are some traditional meals that a Polish household would consume?
So Shush Trish is in the house. Good to have you in the house. Glad you dropped in. Check out everybody's channels. If you like what you see, hit that red button for them, play a video, and hit the like button. Leave them a comment on their videos. And, we talk about all kinds of stuff here. You never know what we're liable to come up with next. Oh,
So are pierogies Polish?
Cliff Note Madison is in the house. Good to have you in, Cliff. Cliff was on the panel with Bobby last night. We had some good laughs. Boy,
Mm,
I'll tell you what.
mm, I'm getting hungry. Just talking about pie and
Luana says
pierogies.
strawberry rhubarb. And Cliff Note says beggar's pie. Now I'm not familiar with that. You'll have to tell me what that is.
Beggar's pie.
Banana pudding has to be made from scratch. Yes.
I like.
Okay. Can you read what Lee put up there because them's big words, and you're the one from the university. I
Let's
only have a public
let's
education.
see. Noodles and cabbage. Mmm. That's what Scroller's chat put up
No,
there.
no, up first.
Haluski. He put that on there.
No, he's got Turiokia
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever. I
Tulipopsy Doni, or colloquially, the immortal jellyfish. The animal is able to revert back into an adolescent state after going through adulthood and repeats this process for all eternity. Mind blown.
Yeah. See, that's why I got a
Yeah.
university person on here because I just have uh, a public education. I can't pronounce in big words. And believe me, when I say that around the people I went to school with, they get mad at me.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Ray says it's 11:26 p.m. in the UK here for him. I guess
Yep.
it's him, since it's
Yep. They're about 5 hours ahead of us over there. And let's see.
beggar's pie, English for shepherd's pie. Cliff Notes says, "Wow, huh?
Oh, huh. All right. Well, yeah, we already mentioned this the shepherd's pie, and yeah, I think that I'm finally caught up there with the chat. I let it get a little bit ahead of me, but welcome
Oh,
to everybody. I don't think I missed anybody in there. If I did, I'm sorry. If I missed you, say something else in the chat. I went around last night. I tell you what, this is a pet peeve of mine. I go around to live chats, and it aggravates me when nobody will talk to you.
yes, And I'm obsessing because I'm looking at my mustache, and I think actually,
I've got some tweezers here someplace. I could go at that for you.
maybe I need to cut this on.
There you go.
No, I'll have to do it in front of the.
Diana Johnson's in the house. Good to see her in the house. But yeah, I was saying, I went around some live streams last night, and I went to a whole bunch of them. I mean, well, I'm not just talking a couple. I went to a whole bunch of them, and I type in the chat 3 or 4 times, saying hey, and nobody'd say hey. And I'm thinking, what? Am I just totally invisible here? What the hell? And I even went in some where there was nobody in front of the camera on the live stream. And I'd wait 15, 20 minutes, think, oh, well, probably just potty break or something. They'll be back. And no, I mean, nobody even saying anything in the chat. There might be stuff up there, but nobody had typed for, say, 10 minutes in the chat. And I'm thinking, okay, where's your mods? Mods should be saying he'll be right back. Or
At least, yeah.
And nothing going on.
I usually put up a little placard that says "Be right back."
Yeah, I mean, say something. So I was sorely disappointed in a lot of people's live streams. So folks out there that are doing live streams, you need to pay a little bit more attention. If you're wondering why your channel's failing, that could have a lot to do with it.
Yep. Hey, Osprey Mama says for childhood development, PIES is an acronym. The P stands for physical, the I stands for intellectual, the E stands for emotional, the S stands for social, PI determines growth.
Huh.
And it's still bugging the daylights out of me.
Jeff Robinson's in the house. Good to have Jeff in the house. Well, what you need to do is shave that thing off.
I want to trim it.
Let's shave that thing off.
I want to take and be able to braid it.
Oh Lord.
Back and forth.
Lord have mercy. Shave that thing off. Looks like you got 2 squirrel tails attached to your chin.
I do. I do.
Well, I mean, see, if somebody after you have left, Scroller's Chat says, I don't know. I never seen him. Or no, that's not the one I was looking at. Yeah, he says, but I said I got to go pee. All right. Well, what happens when you already get up and you leave the room? All right. And then I tune in.
Right.
And I'm just looking at your chair sitting there, nobody in it. And you don't have anybody in your chat typing in, he'll be right back. He's just taking a little break. Stay with us. Say something. People think they've been abandoned.
Yeah, I'm bald in the middle, and actually I'm bald right here too. See, I don't know, but hey, Lee, going back to what Brenda said, all you have to do is do something as simple as this right here.
Yeah,
just that alone. That's probably good enough. Yeah. I don't even know if it's backwards or not. I don't know if the camera's.
No, it's picking it up right. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, Jim Dockrell says ghost chat. And I mean, it's ghost all the way around. You don't have anybody. You don't have a host. You don't have a chat. You don't have nothing.
Right.
Why even waste the airtime? For somebody like me that's going to come in and spend 15 minutes staring at a blank screen saying, what's going on?
Hey, did you guys know that Amelia Earhart and Eleanor Roosevelt once sneaked out of the White House? And it was an event that was going on. They commandeered an airplane and they went on a joyride in Baltimore. I thought that was the neatest thing, where a president's wife sneaks out of the White House and goes for a joyride, not in a car, in an airplane of all things. Now that's, I don't know, that to me, that's mind blowing.
Oh, Katie says if she ever leaves her chair, one of the dogs takes over. They don't say much, but at least it's a pretty face to look at. See, now, at least there's something. Yeah. I mean, I would stick around to watch that for a few minutes, saying, do they even know that the dog is taking over the stream? But yeah, I ended up on Bobby's channel, and that's where I stayed because, there's people there to talk to, and it was a fun time, and there was, we entertained each other. Uh, so if you're rolling around through streams trying to find something, uh, just keep scrolling until you find an actual person on a channel, and you find some people in the chat to talk with.
Yeah, if nothing else, somebody to say hi to,
Yeah.
or to say hi back.
I mean, it's been a while since I really went from stream to stream. Usually, I'll see somebody's on that I know, and so I just go to their stream and I stay there. Last night, there wasn't anybody on that I really knew, so I'm just saying, well, let's check out these channels and see what they got going on. And I couldn't believe some of the things.
Yeah, Jim, it would be demonetized, huh?
Yeah, I think his probably would be.
Yeah, I hope I didn't get yours demonetized by letting that one triple letter word go by.
No, I don't think that they'll do that. They don't. The one triple letter word that they don't like is the one that starts with S and ends in B.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they get real upset about that one.
It starts in what and ends in what?
Starts with S and ends in B.
Sunny beaches?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't end in B. That's what threw me off. That's why I was like, huh.
My family garden's in the house. Good to have you in here tonight. We got some good people in the house. One of the things that I was talking about there on Bobby's channel last night is I was asking what kind of spring projects you got coming up.
Me?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm trying to finish the D&D table right now. I was working on something earlier that I think I'll just bring up real quick. I was having to fix this right here, and Brenda just got such a kick out of this because I was sitting there. I put some super glue on there, and I was.
Okay, let's be clear about this.
I don't know why she was.
The pony's tail had fell off. All right, and so he is trying to glue the pony's tail back onto the pony. And I'm watching a grown man blowing up a plastic pony's butt. Tell me you wouldn't laugh.
It's not perfect and it needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but I think that is going to be just awesome. Who was it that said how cute? Anna. Yeah, when it finishes up, that's I think going to be just an awesome little deal.
Osprey Mama wants to know who broke the tail off of it.
It's so thin it just broke off. Oh. And it's gonna.
Jim Shears is in the house. I say, hey to Jim.
How you feeling?
Lever Guns 5110. WCF is in the house. Good to have you in here tonight as well. That's a new one to me. As a matter of fact, I'll go over there since I'm not familiar with that one. I'll go over to his channel. And
while you do that, I'll talk a little more because you asked about the projects.
Well, I am subscribed over there. Bless your heart. I just didn't recognize your name.
I'm going to put them up next to each other once I get them finished. And but anyway, my point is I'm going to be going back to the 3D printing stuff, and this is going to be a really cool looking dragon if I can figure out how the wings go on here. In addition to the pony. So take your pick, pony or dragon. And the dragon doesn't have a face either, by the way. But anyway, so I'll probably be going back to more 3D printed stuff eventually. Anyway, what about you, Brenda? What are you working on?
I've got a secret project that I'm working on because I'm working on the album for next year's album art for the Maker's Rock, and I can't tell anybody what it is until we get to the reveal. But I've started work on that, and let's see. Here's something that I finished the other night. I was talking to you the other night, and you was wondering what I was doing up in the middle of the night. But I made this pom-pom blanket. It's white background, black.
What did you call it? What did you call it?
Pom-pom blanket.
I thought you called it something else, and I was making fun of it because it sounded like something else.
Well, it's a lap blanket. You put it
Oh
on your
yeah,
lap.
yeah. I called it a pat lap blanket. For those of you that know Pat Lap, I I know Matt knows who Pat Lap is. In fact, I think Matt's got a man crush on Pat Lap,
Yeah,
and he'll tell you that.
yeah. After you showed me who he was, then I realized, okay, that's that guy that Matt talks about. I
Yeah,
don't know him personally,
he's
but
he's an awesome
yeah,
guy.
but yeah, that's I had that on the loom for 3 months, and working on it a little bit here and a little bit there, and I finally this week I said I'm getting it done.
That
It's
looks
got to
really
come off
good,
that loom.
Brenda. So
But
you actually put it on the loom and
no, not that kind of a loom.
okay, okay,
It's a peg loom, and so it's all done by hand.
okay, like this then.
Yeah, it's got pegs sticking up, and then you wind your yarn around it, and
Gotcha.
yeah, and then you with this particular kind, then you have to hand sew all those pom poms down, and hand cut all the pom poms. So it it is a procedure, but the reason I brought that up is one of the things that I want to do is I'm going to be making some looms this year, and then I'm going to be doing videos on how to use those looms to make these kind of blankets.
Are you going to include any music in there? Because I kind of see you going Loomy Tunes or
Well,
something.
see, I'm kind of afraid of music because of the
It's funny.
copyright.
I don't know. It's right over her head.
Well, there's some things I choose to ignore, okay?
Yeah, well, you did really well on that one.
But yeah, that's one of my projects is I'm gonna show how I make the looms, and then I'm gonna show how to use the looms to make these blankets. And then there's another loom that I make that's also a peg type loom where you make table runners and you make placemats and those sorts of things. So I'm going to be showing some of that kind of stuff. And I want to do a chest that doubles as a coffee table. And I probably don't
I
have
thought that was an insinuation about Katie or Russ or the two in comparison.
Hmm?
You're going to make some chests.
Oh no, no, not that kind of chest. A chest that doubles as a coffee table.
Yeah,
I don't see it right here handy, but I've got a board that a fella made CNC flour for me, and I'm going to inlay that in the top of the chest,
cool,
and then I'm going to resin it.
cool,
So
cool.
Luana says twining looms. Well, I guess you could call it a twining loom. I call them peg looms because they got pegs that stick up, pegs or nails.
Hey, Brenda.
Yes.
Jim just put in an order for a king size comforter. So there you go. You got an
Well,
order out of it.
I'd have to make about, let's see, king size would take about, I'm guessing, 20 of these pom pom blankets.
Wow, wow, wow.
But I have all kinds of peg looms, and eventually, what I want to do is I want to reproduce w- all the peg looms that I have, only adding my twist to them because every one of them I see where there could be improvements made. And so, it's going to be the Brenda G's design.
Cool,
The
cool.
one that I'm using right now, the pom pom, if you saw this thing, you would laugh. I ordered it from overseas because nobody's making them here in the United States that I could find. So I ordered this thing. It is the most ramshackle thing you ever seen in your life.
Does it work?
It works if you fight it hard enough.
Really?
That's why it's taken me so long to do this blanket because I just get aggravated. Uh, it slides all over the place. The legs don't want to stay sturdy on it, and it flips and it flops, and it's an awful mess. And so I know I can do better.
Peg
Um,
loom, huh? Yeah. Oh my God. $45 for peg loom?
well, yeah, and then you
Brenda,
got to get the stand.
yeah, it looks like you could make one of these, Brenda.
Oh yeah, and I can do a much better job, and it needs some definite improvements on it. So yeah.
Wow. I've never had that type of work looming over my head at all.
It's not that difficult to do, I don't think, once you get your pattern down and your rhythm set and all that.
BrendaG design looms. Yeah, yeah, branded BrendaG.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be the
Yeah.
BrendaG Designs looms.
Jim Bashirs, I hope you do recover quickly. I can imagine how painful the operation was, but hopefully you'll be comfortable and recover soon.
Have you
Um,
gotten sprung from the big house yet, Jim?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think he said that he had just gotten home or something like
Okay,
that.
because I was gonna say, maybe I can send somebody up there with a wheelchair to come and
One of the boys, huh?
yeah, spring you out of the joint.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought you had said. Um, okay, I'll pull up a picture of a peg loom, and this. Yeah, I will. Give me a second, and
See if
I
it's the same
shall.
thing that
'Cause
I'm
yeah,
trying to
it's really looks really easy. Um, well,
you have to get the spacing right on the pegs. The one I got has nail heads, and they're not tall enough. Um, so you're battling trying to keep everything on the loom while you're working on it. Um,
okay, here we go.
mine will actually have pegs.
Yeah, so a peg loom. This is what I pulled up first,
No,
which was this
no,
one.
that's not it. Type in pom pom loom, pom
Okay,
pom blanket loom.
let's do
Now,
pom pom blanket loom.
yeah. Now that peg loom that you just showed, that's the kind where you make the um, table runners and the placemats and stuff.
Yeah, I mean that looks pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Let's see what pom pom blanket loom looks like. Whoa, videos. Um,
There. Oh, move it again.
well, I can go back if you want me to.
Okay. Well, that one says pom pom blanket loom fun crafts right there. No, one over from where you're
That one right there.
there. Yeah, that one. That's what I have.
Yeah,
It's
I see.
very similar
I
to that, but
see.
they didn't reinforce the corners right on it, so it wants to warp.
Hmm.
The stand that it's on is not like the stand they have that one on. It has one arm on each side of it that goes straight to the floor and then these legs, and there's nothing bracing the 2 legs together. So,
Well,
one leg goes one way, one leg goes another things plopping all over the house like you never
oh
seen
my
in your
God.
life, scaring my dogs to death.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. Oh, geez.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's that's what I'm dealing with. So, I've
fun.
been trying to get all my equipment dug out and get everything so and I think you heard the story about the lumber, didn't you? Yay or
Etsy.
nay?
No, no.
You didn't hear my lumber story? Okay. Here back I don't know, it's probably been about 6 weeks ago now. The weather cleared up for just a little bit, and it was still fairly icy, but I could get around town okay. Now, I don't go out if the roads are bad, you know, but since, it was cleared in town, I thought, well, I can do some errands here in town today and get some things done. So I took off out of here and went to the grocery, and was running around doing my errands. And the last thing I wanted to do, because it's just a few blocks from the house, is stop by the lumber yard. And I thought, I can get some lumber and it could stay in the back of the van. I'm not, doing anything with the van. It could stay in there until I need to get it out to start making stuff. And little by little, I can start fooling around, laying out my patterns and stuff for these looms. So I go to the lumber yard, and the parking lot is an ice rink. And I don't get around. I got mobility issues anyway. So I get out and I'm trying to ease myself up to the door. I get up to the door, I go inside, and a lady is sitting behind a desk in there. And she says, "What can I do for you?" And I said, "Well, I'm here to get some lumber." And she says, "And what kind of lumber do you think you want?" And I said, "Well, I'd like to get some plywood." And she says, "What size?" I said, "Well, I was thinking that I'd get some half, some quarter, and some eighth." And she says, "Well, we might have some eighth." And I'm thinking, this is supposed to be a lumber yard. And she said, "Is there anything else?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I wanted to get some 2x2s." And she said, "Well, we don't have any of those." And I thought, well, I'm not going through all this just to get a sheet of 1/8 inch plywood. Are you kidding me? So I said, well, I guess I won't be getting anything today. So I eased back out, and I'm mad trying to get to the van because I'm thinking, what in the hell kind of lumber yard doesn't have any lumber in it, and I'm thinking, if I fall out here in this parking lot, I'm going to sue this place. I will own this place, and I will start me a lumber yard. It'd be a great place to start a new lumber yard. But as luck would have it, I haven't had an opportunity to get out of here and go to a real lumber yard to get any lumber at this point. But yeah, the place here in town, don't try to get any lumber here in this town.
So that's the moral of the story.
The moral of the story is, don't stop here in this town trying to get any lumber, because you ain't gonna get none. Osprey Mama, 5-bomb, boom,
Boom.
more cowbell. Thank you, Osprey Mama. I appreciate that.
We've got Paul's Messy Workshop out there too. Hey,
Paul's
Paul.
in the house. Good to see you, Paul. What is it that Matt says about him? Says that his won't believe that his workshop's messy.
Yeah, he hasn't seen my workshop.
Jim Dockrell said, if I fell, I'd be flopping around like a seal. I'd hurt, but it would look funny. Yeah, well, I see, when you're young and you fall, the first thing you do is you jump back up because you hope nobody saw you do that. When you're old and you fall, you lay there and look around to see if there's anybody that's going to help your old ass get up off the ground.
My grandson, I guess 6 months ago, time as I get older, kind of, anyway, he got off the bus from school. He gets out and gets hit by a car, and literally flies up in the air, falls back down, gets back up, and does when he's, I'm okay. And his mom says, I'm going to have to call the ambulance. He says, no, Mom, you don't have to call the ambulance. And we're like, what? But serious story. He's young. Basically, he bounced off the car and back down the ground. And he gets up and is like, I'm okay. Wow.
Well, I bounce. I just don't bounce up on my feet.
I bounce blap. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Osprey Mama says she's going to go walk the dogs. Well, you tell the dogs I said, hey, I've got a couple of them things myself.
Osprey Mama, are they bird dogs?
You need to check out Osprey's channel, because she does bird videos over there. Lord, you see all kinds of things. Squirrels fighting hawks. And
yes.
Man, oh, man. I need some of them hawks in my backyard. I'm ate up with squirrels over here. You never seen such a squirrel infestation in your life. I haul off about 24 a year. This year, I'm going lethal. I've had it with the squirrels. Well, I'm going to get a lethal trap. I've got a live trap. I can trap them. I've been taking them on road trips, but every time I move one out, 4 more come in. And so we're going to stop that. I'm going to get a lethal trap. And so there's probably going to be a lot of squirrel meat to be had around here. There's some big fat squirrels.
Hey, squirrel stew.
Yep. I'm tired of fighting them.
I don't think I've ever seen a Samoyed. Maybe I have.
Samoyed, yeah, big white dog. Big white fluffy dog.
Maybe I have. Oh, it looks like awesome. If what I'm thinking.
Or a big white fluffy dog. Got a head on him that's shaped like a German Shepherd and a curly tail that goes over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they kind of remind me of a chow. Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim Bashir says squirrel squatters. That's what they are. Doggone things. I've called the tree trimmers to come in and trim the trees again, because the trees has got limbs that are long enough that the squirrels will jump from the limb over to the house. And that's about 6-8 feet. I mean, you wouldn't think that they could do that, but they do. Those things are like acrobats. And I don't want them tearing up my roof, trying to figure out a way to get in the house with me. No, they're evicted. We're not having no squatters. They don't pay the bills around here.
Oh,
Scroller's Chat's leaving. Well, it was good to have you. I hope you had a good time. Hope you'll come back. We do this every Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern. Usually Matt's on here with me, but sometimes Matt takes a hike and, then I have to have somebody else sit in for him. But hey, hope you enjoyed yourself.
I've seen them before. They remind me of a white chow. They're real.
Uh-huh.
This is from the American Kennel Club.
Mm-hmm.
Um, gorgeous, gorgeous
Yep.
animals. Cute little puppies. Oh, looks like he's jumping.
Yeah,
Cool.
I have two Australian shepherds,
Wow.
and
Awesomeness.
when I moved here, I had 6 dogs, and most of them was old. I had the 2 pups. The 2 pups are all I have left.
Hey,
Thank
Anna
God to
just
'em.
dropped a.
Hey! Bless your heart. It's a 229. Was that pounds
I think that's
or
pounds
euros? Is that pounds or euros?
or euros. I don't know.
I don't know, but
Anna,
whatever it is, I'm glad to have it. Bless
have
your
a
heart.
great sleep. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you so
Live
much.
your dreams, Anna.
Make it rain. Make it rain.
Great evening to you, Anna.
Luann says, tried to send your link to Etsy twining looms. Of course, whack the forehead didn't work.
Good night, Lee. Anna says she needs a cowbell now.
She needs more cowbell.
Remember, Anna, you heard it here first.
I love my cowbell. There's somebody gonna send me a cowbell too, so I'm waiting for that one to come. I might have me a whole collection of them for for you know what's going on. I've got all kinds of props and stuff up here. I've got my button, my bless your heart button.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. Oh my gosh. Lee's still chatting with me on Facebook. I know, Lee. It is, isn't it?
Lee's saying she's nuts. What are you doing with her?
No, he was telling me to have a fun one. You know I always do, Lee. Thank you so much, guys.
Jim
Thank
Dockrell
you so
says
much.
that they have a shy poo, 10 pounds, and can take up enough room that my wife and I have trouble finding a spot on the bed to sleep. Yeah, you can let a dog get in your bed and they'll push you out real quick. Katie's got stories about that.
I've got a Pomeranian. Only thing, she weighs 18 pounds. She's big. She's huge. She sits here on my keyboard tray when I'm leaning back and I've got the keyboard on my lap. She lays on my keyboard tray. She's in fact, today I was holding her kind of like this right here, and I was just leaning over, and she stayed there on my lap. Basically, I guess she liked the fact that I was hugging her for about half an hour. Just stayed right there. Just she's a good dog.
Yeah, I love mine. I've raised mine since they were babies. They were born out of my old female that's done passed on. So I've had them ever since they was born. And
I
when
did see it buffering. I'm sorry, Brenda. I apologize. Didn't mean to interrupt.
I haven't seen it buffering at all here. I don't know, if it's something going on with YouTube or what, because I saw Jim saying that he was having some issues, but
Yeah,
I
that's
haven't
what I'm saying.
seen mine buffer at all.
Yeah, I just saw a little quick little twirl there.
Is that you beeping, or I guess it's me beeping?
I think it was you. Yeah,
Yeah, let's
it's
see.
your high tech phone there, Brenda.
Okay, that's sending me a message. Okay, um, yeah, high tech phone, my foot. My grandma phone.
Hey, it's a Star Trek phone.
Yeah, and I've always liked a flip phone. I don't know how I'm going to get along if I have to go to one of them flat screen deals, because with a flip phone, when you close it, it don't dial nobody. Saying when you have them flat screens, it don't take much. You bump them or anything, you could call China.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't know who you're dealing with.
I've never heard of anybody but dialing with a flip phone. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's why I like my flip phone. There ain't no mistakes to be had there.
Yep.
Jim Doggerel says if I didn't axe the nuts, I wouldn't have a squirrel problem. Well, hey, there's something to be said for that, I reckon. But what you see is what you get. I don't put on no airs. I am what I am, and I'm able to say anything. There's no filter.
With it being Pi Day, there was a a legislative bill that was passed in Indiana. I don't know who out there's in Indiana. Aren't you in Indiana?
I'm in Indiana.
Yeah, the bill was supposed to be to legalize and to redefine the value of pi as 3.2. Now, for those that know what pi is, it's like, well, we don't know the actual pi numbers. 3.1459. That's as far as I know. I know it 4 or 5 back, but 3.2. What the heck is that? You know?
Well, people are kind of odd here in Indiana. I'm originally from Ohio, and I moved over here 6 years ago, and I haven't got used to it yet.
Right.
Folks here, they're a little strange.
I used to live in Chicago, and
so you know what I'm talking about.
oh yeah, I do. You do.
Close enough to,
Chicago is one of those places that I dreaded yet loved at the same time. But
I've lived here 6 years, and I still have made no friends here whatsoever. People they're scared of me.
Here's your sign.
All my friends are still over in Ohio. The people here, they cannot relate whatsoever. Could have something to do with, I go out and I ring the dinner bell at 3:00 in the morning, or, there's. Yeah, Luana said that she sent me a link to a quality twining loom on the Etsy. So I'll check that out. I think I'd prefer to make my own, because I know what the thing that I have is lacking, and I think I know how to make the thing so that it's not going to flop around like a dead fish out of the, it's dying out of the water. Bobby McNutt says good night. He has to go back to his room. Well, hey, tell me what time you're going to be on next. I'll see if I can make it to you next live. But yeah, I've got some ideas to incorporate into it to even make it more decorative. The ones that I've seen are very plain. I think that they could do with a little engraving, because once you get one of these things, it's a piece of furniture in your house. I've got a whole stack of all kinds of looms over in one corner of my living room, and there ain't one of them that looks like a piece of furniture. So, I
you have them hanging from the ceiling?
No.
So they're looming over you?
No, they're on easels.
On easels.
But none of them look like a piece of furniture, and there's some definite improvements that need to be made.
And by the way, whoever mentioned the cumulus clouds, the average cumulus cloud weighs 1.1 million pounds. That's mind-blowing.
I need to go on a diet.
No? Do you? Well, don't eat clouds. That's for sure.
Jeff Robinson said the government gets the other 0.02 of each pie. Jim Docker says on Thursday, today, Google revealed developer advocate Emma Harkua Awa, I'm not sure I pronounced that properly, calculated pi to 31.4 trillion decimal places, beating the previous record by nearly 9 trillion digits.
Jeez. And we still don't know the answer, because pi continues on forever.
Well, pi disappears when it gets to my mouth. I can do magic. I can make pi disappear.
I'm trying to see what Jeff meant. The government gets the other point.
Yeah. You said that Indiana was breaking down pi.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Keep up.
Yeah, I'm slow.
H-Top Music's in the house. Good to see you.
Hey,
welcome to the stream. We're having a good time here. We're talking about it being Pi Day. And, some people think it only has to do with calculus, but I think it has more to do with what's in the kitchen. Oh, let's see here. Where did I leave off on my list?
Oh, Jim, I broke up with pi, and it was irrational and went on forever. Yeah, kind of like the bad jokes on this show, right?
In space, astronauts.
It's an Australian astronaut, an astronaut.
Astronauts cannot cry because there's no gravity and tears can't flow.
Wow.
So I guess, it would be inappropriate if they're up there for the NASA to play over the loudspeakers Cry Me a River.
Right.
See, that's how my mind works. I
So
can't
Brenda,
help it. Yes,
tell us who that chick is to the right. Am I pointing in the right direction?
the
Am I
chick.
pointing in the right
Oh,
direction?
oh, that girl down there.
Yeah, who is that over there?
Well, that's
Sure is
Debbie.
quiet. Yeah, sure is quiet.
Yeah, well, I've got her gagged. Some duct tape took care of her.
Is it here?
Yeah, and that's Debbie. For those of you who are not familiar with the Debbie joke, every Saturday night I'm on a live stream. Well, not every Saturday night, but when he has it over on Simply Wooden Creations, I'm on the panel over there. And when he first started inviting me over there, he couldn't remember my name, so he called me Debbie.
Debbie. So it's been an ongoing joke ever since.
Yeah.
That's Debbie right there.
I tell him Debbie's
That
my
is
evil
Debbie.
twin and that they don't want to deal with Debbie because she's mean.
She's me or she's mean?
She's mean.
Oh, okay.
She'll hurt you. Jeff Robinson says, anybody ask what's your favorite pie? Yeah, we went through. What's yours, Jeff? Mine's peanut butter.
Yeah, yeah. Dreamsicle's mine. That's Debbie right there. Yeah. Kind of looks like Brenda's sister, don't it?
She mean, Lord have mercy. If you're floating in a space station and poot and move around the cabin, what happens if you do it in a wetsuit?
You blow up in the wetsuit. But yeah, I believe if you do, Jim, the pressure, the thrust, I should say, moves you along, and then you keep moving faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. That's how acceleration works, you know.
Jim Docker wants to know, how well do the cabin filters work?
Hey, there's Hi and I Woodworking.
Him and I.
Him and I, sorry, Hi and I. I left the M out.
Him and I's in the house. Good to have you in there. Check out the other channels that's in the room there. And I will remind everybody of this in case you didn't think of it or didn't know it or whatever. But a lot of people come back to my live streams and go through the chat, and check out everybody's channel, because everybody in here is good supporters. You go through, you check out their channels, you hit the red button if you like what you see, you play a video, you hit their like button on the video, leave them a comment, and just keep going back and forth. They'll come to your channel, check your stuff out, leave you comments, and you just keep supporting each other. And that's the way to build your channel. Make friends. Rome wasn't built in a day, neither was YouTube. You got to start somewhere.
Ray the Gamer's got the idea. He says, Brenda, hit the bell for you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, everybody smash that like button like a boss.
Oh, Luana, really? Did you have to go there?
Jeff says lemon, or I would go for a slice of peanut butter. Yes, the only pie that I'm not really fond of is the key lime, but most any other pie, buddy, I tell you what, you better get out of my way.
It looks like Jim Bashir's is going to have Percocet pie here in a little while.
Holy smoke.
Because his wife got home with 50 Percocet. Hard in his house.
He going to be happy.
Luana likes strawberry rhubarb.
Yep. Yep, you got to build it and work it. That's the truth. A lot of people think that they're just going to get on YouTube and start a channel and that the masses are going to flow to them like water out of the faucet, and it doesn't work that way. You got to get in there and let people know what you're doing and make friends and help each other. But
are you crazy? Yeah, it looks like Luana likes blackberry and cherry. I'd say Luana likes pie.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, with me, it just bring the pie. They say, you go to somebody's house, and they say, how big of a piece would you like? Oh, you mean I have to take a piece? I thought you were going to bring me the pie.
Right?
Do not get between a fat girl and her pie. You're gonna get hurt. I gave up on dieting and all that a long time ago because I like food. Shelly and I was talking on the stream that she was on with me here a while back. And she said something about diets or whatever, and I said, "Yeah, I'm on a diet. I'm on a seafood diet.
That's the type of diet I like the best.
It's called food. You just bring me food."
Right, right. Hey, I've got I'm in the Makers Rock album art collab, and
Yeah.
I've got a before I forget, I almost forgot. I've got a 12 by 12 album recreation that I did, or recreation that I did. And all you got to do is go over to my channel and like the channel, subscribe, the usual thing, and then put a message in there as to why you should be the one to win. I will have a drawing for it, and if you don't like Pink Floyd, then you probably don't want it. But if you like Pink Floyd, this would make an excellent, wall art for. I'll even supply the little sticky deals that go on the back that have the Velcro, so you don't poke holes in your wall. But get on over to Odessa Woodworking and Maker Shop. If
Well, explain a little bit to these people. A lot of them don't know anything about the album rock collab thing. So
you know
tell them.
what it's been is for the last, I think, 3 years, a bunch of makers got together. And let me go ahead and get it straight off the maker site, or the makersrock.com is the name of the website. And basically, this is how Matt from Awesome Wood Things asks. He's got 3 questions for you. Do you have a YouTube channel and where you post videos about things you make in your workshop? And this might be something for next year also. Brenda's already started on next year's. Do you have a personal Facebook profile? Because that's how we coordinate the efforts and stuff. They give you a list of the other makers that are going to collab, and basically the participation started and is almost ending for 2019. So 2020 will be there. So if you answered yes to any of these, then join it for next year. But this year, if you go to makersrock.com, or go to my video and then go to the other ones, you can also type hashtag makersrock, and all the Makers Rock videos will come up. But there's a playlist of all the different ones. But you can go and possibly get a chance to win not just my art, but 20 other makers arts for free.
Okay, I posted your channel and I posted the link to your video there in
Okay,
the
thank
chat
you.
so that they can go and check that out. And now in the description of the video, it also has all the other people that are
Correct.
participating. So you can go to their channels and enter, because everybody's giving their artwork away in this thing. You just follow whatever directions that they have for how to join on their channel, and they're going to all have drawings for their particular piece of artwork. So I
Yep.
think it's pretty. I
Yep.
think it's a pretty cool thing. I didn't get my ducks in a row to be able to participate this year, but I will be participating next year.
Can you
And
tell us who the album is that you're going to be doing?
well, are you allowed to do that? Is
Yeah,
that
you are, because on the list it says the albums
that-
themselves. I think so. You're just not supposed to show it.
okay? Mine's going to be Blues Brothers.
No, you're not supposed to say it. Rubber Biscuit.
So it's going to be a labor of love. There's going to be a lot of work go into this thing that I'm making, but the hardest part's going to be doing the video and doing the editing and everything that I got to do, I think. So we'll
Is
see.
it Aykroyd and Belushi, or is it the original Blues Brothers?
Aykroyd and Belushi.
Okay, I just wondered.
Yeah.
Wondered. That'd be cool. And you hope Brenda, that's okay for next year, because they haven't.
I've already checked with the leader of the
Okay,
pack.
all right, good. I was going to say, yeah, because the year before last it was an '80s band. Well, of course, I picked Pink Floyd again. I've got that one in there too, which has the whole Dark Side of the Moon album on it, which is Pulse. But
Mhm.
yeah, I wanted to make sure that you were working on the one that they're going to accept.
Yeah,
So,
I already checked that out because I looked at all kinds of album covers, and oh
yeah,
my God, probably went through thousands of them. And then I thought, well, before you settle, I mean, I've got a whole file. of album art, think of different things. Well, maybe you could do this or you could do that, And so then I checked to say, okay, what's the theme going to be? And I fit in. Uh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we shall see.
They're on a mission from God.
Now, do these get judged? Is there like a panel that judges these? You just on your own. You make it
You're just on
and
your
give it
own, yeah.
away, and that's it. Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah, you're
good.
just on your own. I'm gonna talk to
Because
Matt.
I didn't want to be embarrassed, when
I'm gonna
say
talk to Matt and
throw her
see if
out.
there's not a little spin he can put on it, at some point, but I'll reserve that for later.
Yeah, Luana says, awesome. Pink Floyd woodwork. Went
Pink
to
Floyd
see
always
them.
works.
Went to see them at Grant Stadium with my brother.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous.
Yeah, him and I woodworking says that they can't wait to do it next year.
Yeah, it has been a lot of fun. My previous album art ended up in I know I'm gonna mess this up, in Ireland. Where's Pam's boxes at? Is she in
I don't know.
Ireland?
I don't know.
Anyway, over the pond, a long ways away.
Yeah.
Um, Mission from God. Yes. Yes. Mission from God, Luana. Yep. The nuns have the ruler and they float. Yeah. That was, a kind of a neat story. And the Blues Brothers actually holds a really cool spot in my heart because I was in the Air Force stationed in Champaign, Urbana at Rantoul Air Force Base, 120 miles away from Chicago. Well, the Blues Brothers was filmed in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the Cook County Police Department. I don't know if you remember
Mm-hmm.
Dan
Yeah.
Aykroyd saying the Cook County cop car, whatever, how he talks. But so I was driving back and forth. Yeah, I was driving back and forth and my car broke. So I ended up having to take the bus. And in Chicago, there's like this big Graham Central Station of buses and elevated trains and stuff. But so I get off the bus to go catch the train. And I look out the bus station, and there is by Daly Center where the Picasso is, that orange sculpture. I look up there, and the place is literally bumper to bumper to bumper, 5, 6, 7, 8 wide, bumper to bumper, Chicago police cars, there. And I'm like, going, what is going on? Well, what it was is they were filming the movie, and I happened to cut right through it as they're filming the movie. And I don't think I got in the movie at all, but it was just the fun of being there and then seeing the movie, and that, like I said, that holds a really, really cool spot in my heart,
Mm-hmm.
that particular movie. And
Yeah.
it's a funny movie. If you've never seen it, it's stupid as all get out. But Princess Leia or Carrie Fisher
Mm-hmm.
is in that movie,
Yep.
along with John Belushi, who was her boyfriend, I guess, and he stood her up. And
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I'm not going to try to recreate
Her
this
with the
scene.
bazooka and
Don't kill me! Oh, please!
But yeah, I've always liked them, and so it's funny. You look at all of them, and you think, well, I could do this, or I could do that, or I could do, and then when you hit the one, and you see that's it right there. I can make that work. I like that. That's where your passion is.
Yes, yes. Yeah, exactly, and that's that passion. Like Lana's saying, how cool you were there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Yeah.
And Dippers, of course, stupid. You take another couple of those Percocets, buddy, you'll be thinking it's the greatest thing since sliced pie.
But
And
yeah,
Paul,
I've got a lot of projects that I would like to get done, but hey, I'm just taking it one day at a time. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I gotta just cluck around the coop and get it done as I can get it done.
and Paul, if you're still out there, I don't think that restaining those spots helped any. I'll go look after the show, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna spray it down tomorrow and get it polished.
uh, Jim says that they taste great with McDonald's chicken strips.
I bet they do. I kind of wish, oh, I could just see people going off. I've got these little red pills, right? I kind of wish I had blue ones so I can hold them up and go, which one would you
Yeah,
choose? The blue
red
or
pill or
the red?
blue pill. Well, you're old enough, you should have some blue pills, shouldn't you?
I beg your pardon?
See, I said there's no filter. You never know what I'm gonna say next. You started it.
It's that, yeah, as soon as I said blue pills, I knew exactly where it was going, like I said. And I just knew. I just knew.
Oh, Jimbo sure says that they taste great with McDonald's chicken strips. So Luana went behind that with McDonald's apple pies are pretty awesome. She said that they updated them. Yeah, I had one of those. Well, I guess about a year ago. They weren't too bad. They were better than what they used to be. They used to be like cardboard. But I'm not a big fan of McDonald's.
Oh, I remember now that you said the apple pie. We were at it was either Disney World or Universal Studios. I think it was Universal Studios, but we stopped to get some food. The granddaughter was with us. She was little teeny tiny, bless her heart, and she would always eat um, apples with I want to say it's with caramel.
Hmm.
Well, for some reason, I don't know, but we didn't have any caramel. And but what they did have was barbecue sauce. So she's sitting there eating the apples, and I said, "Hey, here's a little sauce." She stuck the apple in the barbecue sauce and took a bite. Oh my God. I don't think she's eaten anything I've given her ever since that
Yeah,
day. And I don't blame her.
yeah.
Poor
Your
girl.
credibility is shot
Yeah,
now.
it was like totally just gone.
Holy smoke!
My poor
Yeah,
little granddaughter.
your credibility went right down the tubes. My grandpa
Mhm.
never did nothing like that to me. He loved me.
But you should have seen the look on her face. Grandpa!
My grandpa passed away when I was 6 years old, but he taught me all kinds of meanness, and I still remember some of it. And hey, tell me, when the way you wave at neighbors when you see the neighbors is you do this. And he used to come up to the house every morning for coffee. Me and him play hide and seek. I'd hide behind a chair or something, and he'd pretend he couldn't find me until he finally, decided enough was enough, and he'd find me. But when he'd leave, he'd always say, "I'll see you in the funny papers." Well, for a little kid, you wonder, how am I supposed to get in the funny papers? And so whenever we lived way out in the country, but if we ever got a Sunday paper that had the comics and stuff in it, I'd always be looking to see if I was in the funny papers.
Oh, chickens. Chickens. Fried whole chickens, right? Wasn't it 5 fried whole chickens? It was some ungodly number like that. We got two honkies out there dressed like Hasidic diamond merchants.
Yeah, Luana says the same thing, that seeing the funny papers always confused her when she was a kid. Yeah, it's
Yep.
like I couldn't quite understand that. Me and my grandpa, we was a team though. Every Saturday, I'd spend Saturdays with grandma and grandpa, and we'd start out on Saturday morning going to the store in his old Studebaker, and I'd ride in the back seat. And I remember, see, back then you didn't have to be strapped into nothing. Lord have mercy.
Right.
They coddle everybody now. You got to be strapped in, tied down, and everything else. But I remember standing in the back seat of that Studebaker, looking out the rear window when we'd go someplace, and then when we come home, get the groceries in, it would be time for the wrestling, big time wrestling to come on. And I'd be sitting in grandpa's lap in the chair in the living room watching the TV, and he chewed tobacco, and he had a old lard can sitting beside the chair, and he'd spit his tobacco juice in that lard can, and I'd always be begging him for some tobacco, and he'd give me just a little tiny pinch. My granny screaming, "Don't
Mhm.
give her none of that!" And we'd be watching the big time wrestling on the TV.
So that's what happened to you, huh, Brenda?
Yep, yep. As a little kid, I was a tobacco chewer.
I remember when I went into the Air Force, I was chewing Red Man,
Mhm, that's
chewing
what it
tobacco.
was, Red Man. Yeah.
Red Man. Yeah.
He always wore overalls, bib overalls, and he had that big old pocket there in the front, and he'd have his red man tucked there in the big pocket in the front of his overalls.
Yeah, we had. I remember this one guy used to dip Copenhagen,
Mm-hmm.
and a big old wad in his mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought, well, I'll try it. I smoked a pipe then, which I was at Minot, North Dakota, so it was real cold. So the pipe was really a good thing because I could smoke the pipe and warm up my hands at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But I said, hey, give me some of that Copenhagen. And of course, it was nothing like the red man chewing tobacco. Oh my God, I spent the next hour and a half in the bathroom. I guess because you're not supposed to swallow that stuff.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Oh my gosh.
The funniest tale that I have about the skull or Copenhagen was my brother used to dip, and he had left a can of it out in a barn window. It had been there for years, and my adopted child, my foster child, he was about 13 years old, and he'd been playing around out in the barn, and he came in looking at me kind of sheepish. So I knew he'd been into something, and I said, "What you been up to?" And he says, "Well, I hate to tell you." And I said, "Well, I know you hate to tell me, but you're gonna tell me anyway." And he says, "Well, I found this," and out of his pocket he come with this the snuff can, and he says, "I found this down in the barn." He says, "So I tried a little bit of it," and he says, "It was awful. It was just awful." And I said, "Well, where did you find it?" And he said, "Well, I found it out in the old milk parlor sitting up in the windowsill." And I said, "Well, I hate to tell you this, but that's not snuff in that can." He said, "What
Well,
do you
what?
mean it's not snuff in that can?" I said, "Well, my brother used to take samples of the cow feces
Oh my gosh.
and put it in them snuff cans and take it to the vet to get them checked for worms. And that's probably one he laid up there and forgot about."
Oh my God.
Needless to say, he never messed with nothing out there again.
Hey,
Dakota and family's in the house. We'll say hey to you guys. Glad you dropped in.
howdy, howdy.
Matt is in Atlanta at the Woodworking show tonight, and Al is filling in for him. So you get to party around here with me and Al for a little bit and listen to us tell our silly stories and talk about interesting facts.
I think Jeff Robinson has started something here. Have I started designing my new cosplay costume this year? If I did design it, it would have to be a Star Trek TNG Next Generation uniform. You know, the black up here and the red down here, and I've got my phaser, and I haven't finished it yet. I need to do a little detail on it, but I got my phaser to go right on the side of me. So yes, Jeff, I have started in one way or another, I guess.
Katie says when we were kids, we'd mix Hershey's cocoa powder and sugar to make play snuff.
We used
Better
to just go steal the snuff.
Better than the real thing, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, the stuff is pretty nasty.
Back in the 90s, I was working in an office and we were allowed to smoke in there. And one day the boss said that he decided that we ought to all stop smoking. And I said, "Well, I could do that." I said, "Where do you want me to put the can?" He said, "The can." And I said, "Yeah, the spit can, because if I'm going to stop smoking, I'm going to start doing snuff." He decided smoking wasn't such a bad thing after all.
Right? So you guys know that avocados were patented in 1935 by one of the descendants of Matt Haas, Rudolf Haas.
No.
Yeah, in 1935.
Hmm.
I don't know if it was Matt's descendants or not. It's probably spelled anyway, but
Probably not a descendant,
yeah.
probably an ancestor.
Did you know that the Easter heads, the heads on Easter Island, you guys know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Actually have bodies also
Oh, yeah.
below the ground.
They sunk.
Yeah.
They were so heavy they sunk. They had to be dug up.
Yeah, and the fresh smell of grass comes from chemical plants release when in distress. Think about it. If somebody mowed you down.
Did you know that most lipstick contains fish scales?
Wow. Does it give it like a shine or something? Or
I guess.
what are the fish scales for?
Maybe make it harder. I don't know.
Mm. Did you also know that bacon was used to make explosives during World War II?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm assuming it was the nitrites in it or something like that. I'm not really certain why, but
It's a big waste of bacon.
it is. That's boy, I tell you what, talk about good morning, Vietnam. The smell of bacon burning in the morning. I don't
That's right.
think that's what he was talking about, but
I tell you what, they need to make bacon pie.
yeah, there you go.
I I have a lot of fun, or used to, when I would go to these weekend swap meets, flea markets, and I would take a little camp stove with me and a little frying pan, and I'd have some bacon and eggs in the cooler. And you spend the night there, say Friday night, and on Saturday morning, I'd get up and I'd set up my little camp stove, get my skillet out, and
Mm.
get the bacon and the eggs out, and I'd go to fry it, and Lord have mercy, every man within a mile
Within a mile.
will be coming around because they smelt that bacon and eggs cooking out there in that skillet.
And would you give him any?
No.
Now you know why she's single.
Now, if they came with their own bacon and eggs, I'd fry them for them. Yeah, they
Okay.
ain't getting none of mine.
My bacon, my bacon.
That's right. Bring your own.
How about this? Did you know that 93,000 liters of beer are lost in facial hair each year in the UK alone?
That's about the same amount of tobacco juice, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, the other half is tobacco juice.
A jiffy is an actual unit of time,
Yes,
1/100th of a second.
yes, it is. It's a computer term.
It's
Yes,
probably the one that's used the most for liars.
yeah, in a jiffy. Yeah, that's the story. Yeah, that's the ticket.
You said a jiffy, your jiffy's up. Oh my. Well, I'll tell you what, we've been on here now for an hour and a half. Probably time to let these good folks go because they probably got their own things that they need to do
I
this
bet they
evening. But
do.
I thank you all for coming. We had a great time. I hope you come back next week on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Tell your friends, bring everybody. The more we get in here, the merrier it'll be. And we just keep sharing and uh, supporting each other's channels. And it's a lot of fun. And if you want to drop me a line, either on, well, Twitter's probably the best place to do it, but you drop me a line there. Let me know when your live streams are going to be, or if you're on Facebook and you know where I'm at there on Facebook, look at BrendaG's Designs and drop me a message there. Let me know when your live streams are. I'll try my best to make it in there. And I want to thank Al for sitting in for Matt this evening. It's been a
My
pleasure,
pleasure.
and we've really enjoyed it. So, with all that, we're going to bid y'all adieu, and we'll see you back here next
Bye
week.
bye, Caleb Moore.
Bye, y'all.